What is going on? Welcome to the Courtside Talk Theory. My name is Eric Wilson, and today I'll be talking about the women's and men's NCAA tournament. Let's get to it. Let's first start out with the men's tournament. On Monday, we saw Houston defeat Oregon State 72 to 61, and we also saw Baylor defeat Arkansas 81 to 72. Yesterday, we saw the number one seeded and undefeated Gonzaga defeat USC 85 to 66. And we also saw a big upset in the 11th seeded UCLA Bruins defeating the number one seed Michigan 51 to 49. Now, I was only able to watch the Gonzaga USC game. From what I did watch from that game, it was just an all-out Gonzaga, beatdown. Drew Timmy had 23 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. Kispert had 18 points, 8 rebounds, and the top 5 draft prospect Jalen Suggs almost had a triple-double with 18 points, 10 rebounds, and 8 assists. This is the team that I feel like no one can beat. This USC team was a pretty decent team, a pretty good team coming into the tournament. They were a team to watch, but if you just go against a monster like Gonzaga, there's just pretty much nothing you could do. If you don't have Drew Timmy playing great, you have Jalen Suggs and Kispert playing great. So those three guys, those All-Americans, are probably just gonna help Gonzaga cruise to that championship, which I think and I'm predicting that they will get. On the other side, I can't count out Baylor because I feel like they're gonna defeat Houston coming up on the 3rd. But it's gonna be a close game. I don't really expect there being an upset, but I do expect that Gonzaga takes the championship home for the men's tournament, and they're just the better team. They're just too stacked in some opinions. I think there's just no team right now that can really defeat them. That one team that could possibly even scratch a defeat to them is Baylor. We might be overrating Gonzaga a little bit. We might be pushing them up in the rankings a little bit too much, but I just think there's probably no team that can probably beat them. No team that can beat them. Baylor is going to be a great game because I have Baylor going to the championship, but it's going to be a good game. I think those two are definitely going to meet, and Gonzaga is probably going to take the championship home in the men's tournament. Next, we are going to be talking about the women's Final Four. Then after this, I'll probably be talking about how I feel about some of the upsets that happened during our March Madness. And a big thing about the women's Final Four is, for the first time, there will be 2 black coaches. South Carolina's Dawn Staley and Arizona's Ida Barnes. Those are 2 African American women who are coaching for their respective groups, and it's the first time ever, and I think it's great for the NCAA for that to happen. More inclusion with the black coaches, but just more about the basketball. We're going to be having some big games coming up for this Final Four in the tournament. We're going to have the 3-seeded Arizona facing the 1-seeded Connecticut, UConn. The powerhouse UConn that they've been throughout their whole tenure in the women's tournament, in the history of women's tournament. And on Friday, April 2nd, we're gonna have South Carolina and Stanford face each other, both 1 seeds. So who I think is gonna pull this out? I'm pulling towards South Carolina. They're a great team. I watched their games a couple of times this year, and I was a really big fan of South Carolina this year. Their record was 26-4. But you always got to go with Connecticut. Even though it is March Madness, they are 28-1. They've only been beat 1 time, so I think I'm either going to go with Connecticut or South Carolina taking it home. Probably might see those 2 in the championship. Before I go in about the NCAA men's tournament upsets, I just wanted to touch a bit on the number 2 seeded Baylor and Connecticut game in the women's tournament. Baylor, who were the champions the last time we had an NCAA women's tournament, they lost to Connecticut 69-67. The final possession where DeJounte Carrington was going up for a shot, and she was covered by Aaliyah Edwards, and it was called a block. And was it called a shot? There's no doubt in my mind that was a foul, and that was definitely a foul. And I don't know where the refs' heads went. I don't know what happened. I don't know if they had a brain fart, but you can't have this officiating in an elite game like it was. You can't have that officiating. You can't have, it might have. It seems a little fishy to me. It seems a little fishy how that clip is not a foul. They called it a block, and I just think that's very messed up. Because both teams played a great game, but if we're gonna play it back, if they played it back a couple of times, you didn't even have to play it back a couple of times. You could just look at it and know that that contestant was definitely a foul. I definitely think that was a foul. It was really messed up how it went down, but we really got to watch out for the officiating down when it gets down into these Elite Eight and Final Four games, including the national championship. So hopefully we don't see any more of those type of plays that might mess up the tournament, but we'll see as this tournament goes on, and hopefully we do not see that anymore. So now I'm going to touch on some of the upsets that we saw during the men's tournament so far. Let's talk about the one in the first round. UVA, the 4th seed, going against Ohio University, the 13th seed. And everyone saw this coming. Everyone should have saw this coming. I was really waiting it to happen. I waited for it to happen. I actually put down my bracket for it to happen, and that was UVA losing to Ohio 62-58 in a very close game. Very close game. I knew it was gonna happen. I really knew it was gonna happen. They were led by Jason Preston, who's really been really draft stock has really gone up in the past couple of days. He had 11 points and 13 rebounds and also 8 assists, almost a triple double. He played great. UVA, I don't know. I don't know what it is with the first rounds. They just can't get over it. They had that game versus UMBC where they had the biggest upset in NCAA history. There's just something about the first round for them, but definitely in the first round, a lot of people's brackets were gone. Another big upset that happened in the first round was the Ohio and Oral Roberts game. I picked Ohio to be in my Elite Eight, and they sadly lost 75-72 in overtime to Oral Roberts, who was the 15th seed, and Ohio is the 2 seed. Ohio just coming off the loss from Illinois in the championship, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, Ohio's looking really good. No, Ohio loses this game, and my bracket is broke. Actually, my bracket was broke with the first game of the tournament. I picked my Virginia Tech Hokies to defeat Florida, and they were up leading the whole entire game. Then out of nowhere, Florida surges back and they win the game 75-70, excuse me. And that just really broke my bracket with the first game of the March Madness. This just a testament to show us how different and how things could really change during the March Madness. There's been this, and that's not even the last upset that I wanted to talk about. Another team that I thought, no question, was going to be in the finals. Illinois. Illinois lost. They lost their game to Loyola Chicago 71-58. 71-58. This is the team with probably, two of the most talented stars in Koki Cockburn, who had 21 points and 9 rebounds, and Ayo Dosunmu, who only had 9 points. He had 9 points. This is March Madness. This just goes to show you can't be playing any type of, oh, we're ranked here, so it's okay. We can just, relax on these games. Two great teams, Ohio State and Illinois, lost, and they're not making it. It's really messed me up. It really messed me up because I put my bracket down. I was like, yeah, it was a great bracket in my eyes. I had both of those teams going to the Elite Eight. I had them meeting up, and I had Illinois going to the Final Four and then going to the championship versus Gonzaga. I thought it was going to be an amazing championship, but no, they lose to Loyola Chicago with Sister Jean in them. So I just think, this just goes to show, like I said, this just goes to show how March Madness can flip on a dime just like that. this is just goes to show this is probably one of the best March Madnesses that I have been alive to watch. You know, a lot of great upsets, a lot of great teams playing, some great basketball going on. It just goes to show you that, you know, when you punch your ticket for the March Madness, there's no guarantee that you will be there in the end. But there is a team that I guaranteed that will be in the end. That's the Gonzaga Bulldogs, and I'm putting my guarantee stamp on it that they're going to win the national championship. They're just too powerful. They're just too powerful of a team, and I definitely have them punching their ticket in for the championship, and they're going to win it. Well, that is all, folks. I'm sorry that I have not been posting a lot of podcasts. I've just been working on school, and I took a little breather. You know, I had that moment where I was posting a podcast almost every other day, and I'm sorry I haven't been that active. I'm planning to be a little bit more active coming in the next coming days. You guys know the deal. Go ahead and check out my Twitter, my Instagram, my blog. Check it out all, and go ahead and follow my YouTube. Subscribe to that also, and just remember, Courtside Talk with Eric, doing sports the 757 way. Thank you.